Alright guys, welcome to your first day of work. Today, we're gonna watch a video. So we're gonna have a group meeting. So please watch this video and just write down what you've learned.
Cameras. Use them every day, be it to check your teeth for food, take an artsy photo, or share a snapshot of what you're doing with all of your friends. As a whole, mankind has taken around 3.8 trillion photos ever, 10% of which were taken in the past 12 months. But have you ever considered how the camera came about in the first place? It begins with the human desire to capture reality. Drawing and painting were initially developed as a way to imitate and represent certain aspects of our surroundings. To assist in capturing this reality, they began with this, the camera obscura. The idea of the camera obscura is seen as early as the 4th century BC through the writings of an old Chinese philosopher, Mozi. Over the next millennia, it had been used by many a person, from Roger Bacon to Leonardo da Vinci. This camera does not capture images per se, but rather manipulates them. The light that is reflected off an external structure, for example, a building, comes into a room or box with a small hole in the side. The light, due to optical inversion, is then reflected upside down inside the box, in complete detail and color. Here is a real-life example of a camera obscura. As you can see, a hole has been cut into the wall, and the images from the outside have been reflected onto the inside. The camera obscura was among the first discoveries made in optics. Eventually, it led to various innovations, such as eyeglasses and laser beams. So how did we get something like this from the camera obscura? Let's go back to the Burgundy section of France, the year 1826. Joseph Niepce, a French inventor, had been experimenting with light-sensitive materials for quite some time. He was incapable as an artist, so he used his knowledge of chemistry to develop a bitumen solution, which he coated on a pewter plate and exposed to 8 hours of sunlight, capturing the first photograph known to mankind. After his death in 1833, Niepce's understudy, Louis Daguerre, took this idea and geared it towards public use in the form of a daguerreotype. This invention became vastly popular, but, as with any piece of technology, it had its issues. For one, during capture, each person would have to sit completely still for many minutes, hence why people in these photographs tend to look unhappy. It was difficult to hold a grin for the duration of the exposure, so many opted for a neutral face that sometimes came off as angry. With daguerreotypes, retaking an image really wasn't an option, so in the year 1900, Kodak released this, the Kodak Brownie. The Brownie was the introduction to everyday photography as we know it today. As you can see, this is basically a miniature version of the camera obscura, with a hole cut out here that has a lens put in it, rather than a pinhole. This allows a more concentrated amount of light to flow into the camera, thus allowing a shorter exposure time. Through the viewfinder on the side, you are able to see what you are taking an image of, though it is upside down, as it was with the camera obscura. In order to capture the image, light-sensitive film would be placed here. The consumers of this product would never develop the images themselves, hence the tagline, "You press the button, we do the rest." Over the years, cameras have drastically transformed, from box to film, Polaroid, DSLR, GoPro, and even smartphones. So next time that you take a picture, consider how much history went into capturing that one moment.
Of this video. Well, we're a camera company. We're supposed to know where cameras originate, or the history of cameras. So I want you guys to each go back to your desk, and I'm gonna come over and ask you questions. Well, I want to see who is the most knowledgeable about the history of cameras. I guess just pick randomly. We have Dustin, Mr. Logan, Rebecca, and we have Marquilla. Well, I guess I'll just do Marquilla.
Hey Marquilla, what are you up to?
Just doing some paperwork.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm here to ask you some questions about the video.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay. So, for the camera obscura, did they actually capture the images?
No, actually, they just flipped the images upside down.
Nice. Okay. So, how did the invention of the camera lead to other innovations?
Well, after people invented the camera, they thought, wow, that was pretty cool. We should invent more stuff that has to do with seeing. So they invented eyeglasses, laser beams, etc.
Oh, wow. Okay, Marquilla. Well, how did the first photo originate?
Well, Joseph J., the person who took the first photograph, was a chemist. So he took a bitumen mixture and he put it on a piece of paper and he let it sit in sunlight for 8 hours for the photo to develop.
Okay.
Oh, Marquilla. Woo, she really surprised me. I didn't think she knew nothing. Alright, well, Dustin and Logan. Oh, shoot. Alright, we'll do Rebecca. Dustin kind of scares me. Rebecca, how has society changed because of this innovation?
Ways in which the camera has changed society is that the camera gives us memories we can look back on and have a clear view of, instead of just thinking about a certain memory. It's also opened up the world because each day social media is more widely used, which allows your photos to be spread worldwide. The camera is also used for traditional events such as weddings, birthdays, and funerals. At all of these events, most people have a picture board showing their experiences with their loved ones or your experiences growing up. Also, at weddings and birthdays, there may be photos booths to create fun memories with your friends and families.
What might this innovation lead to in the future?
What the camera may lead to in the future, we may never know exactly what it will lead to. Because who knew the camera would be such a big part of society nowadays? But we do know that the camera will keep improving. There will be a better way to show the art of photography, and it will become easier for people to use.
Rebecca was good. Definitely expecting more from her though. It's okay. Alright.
That was good, Marquilla.
Okay. Okay.
Walk in! Dang!
It's loud as hell.
Anybody?
Alright. Is it too low?
It's too dark.
It's too bright.
Where's the light at?